All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We are meeting for our final time this week. So I just kind of want to stress what you have on your plate, as well as kind of talk about what's opening up next week for our last week of the semester, right? Hopefully everybody's kind of been catching on to that, been hearing that from other classes, maybe emails, things like that. The semester ends next week. So super important that you're staying on top of this stuff this week, as well as kind of going back, not only in my class, but in other classes and doing whatever you can do to boost your grade up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Actually, give me just a second. Okay. All right. So for this week, we have, let's get to the right place. 3.5, which is all about zeros of polynomials. Some people get a little confused when they hear zeros, but just remember that's x-intercepts, roots. There's lots of different vocab words for those things. So that is what's on your plate for this week. Textbook pages, all that kind of stuff, how to access it is all there. Practice problems, what I want you to do each week is there. Don't forget when you're doing these practice problems, please have that solutions manual out so you can check and make sure you're doing the problems correctly. There's nothing worse than doing a handful of problems and then at the end realizing you've been doing them all wrong. Now you have to kind of unlearn all that information that you tried to learn in the first place. The extra practice, this will actually come into play for next week, or you're more than welcome to take advantage of it now, but we'll talk about it here in just a second. Vocab and concepts and the check-in, these are both available to you. Please let me know if you're seeing any problems with it. Maybe you're typing in an answer and it's just not correct, but you're sure it's correct. I've had that happen. I think it was yesterday in geometry. I don't know, maybe it was algebra 2. I can't remember. Somebody emailed me and said, hey, I'm typing this in, but it's not accepting it. So please reach out to me if you're seeing anything crazy like that. Solutions manual, we talked about that, just having that out while you're doing those practice problems. This solution manual covers every problem in the lesson too. So if you're doing problems like the practice problems in the tutorial part, like in the instruction throughout the examples, what do they call them? Let me look real quick because I got my book here. They call them try-its. So after you look at an example in the textbook, underneath the example, it says try it, and it has a problem for you. If you're doing those problems, those solutions are also in here. So feel free to access that. This has every problem in the entire textbook. So keep that in mind. And then the video tutorials here for you as well. If you have any questions, if you're not sure what a vocab word means, if you want to see an example worked out, just access this and fast forward or rewind or whatever you got to do to the part that you need, and feel free to access that. For next week, this is unlocked for you as of today. So basically a review and test. Notice that the test is due on February 5th on Friday because it's the end of the semester. So keep that in mind. The video tutorials are here for you as well. And I kind of split them up because they were taking a little bit too long. And I don't know, I've heard people like that as well. So this first video tutorial is 3.1 and 3.2. The second video tutorial is 3.4 and 3.5. So if you need some help with that, if you're accessing that review, which is right here, if you click on that, there's a PDF of the review that I'm going through in this video tutorial. This is also in your textbook, the review. It's at the end of Unit 3. You can just flip through and find it. I'm not sure what page it was offhand. But this review that's right here, that's the review that I'm going through in this video tutorial. It's always really good to kind of just jog your memory. I know, you just saw Unit 3.5 or Lesson 3.5, but you haven't seen 3.1 and 3.2 in a while. Maybe watch the video, maybe practice some of the problems. And that's where I want to go back and hit on these things. This extra practice, that's a great place. Anytime somebody emails me, I've had multiple emails from you guys and from geometry about, hey, what can I do to practice this more? Do you have a worksheet? Do you have another practice assignment? So I always point people back to this link right here. This just gives you ideas for where you can go in Envision to get extra practice, also where you can go in the book, what pages and which practice problems are good for you to do. So each lesson has this in there. Like if you go back, 3.4 has it there, 3.2 and 3.1 have them as well. So those are really good ways to review for that test. All right, I'm going to stop sharing, let everybody that's late in Feel free to type something in the chat box or unmute yourself. All right. So that was it. So a question was asked, what's the percentage of this test? This test, just to clarify, is not a final. So it's not like it's going to hold more weight. It's going to hold pretty much the exact same weight as other tests. I can't remember. Let me go back and look, actually, since I still have it open. It's got 15 points in it. That's what it's worth. So let me just look just out of curiosity and see what Unit 2 test was worth. Unit 2 test had 10 points. So it's worth a little bit more than Unit 2. Unit 1 had 16 points. So it's kind of right there in the ballpark for everything. So it's not going to be worth a ton more or a ton less. You know, it'll definitely boost your grade a little bit if you do really well on it. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to hang back and talk with people that have questions. Everybody else that's good to go, please use the next 40 minutes to start working through problems. If anything kind of comes up, if you got any questions, please reach out to me in an email and I'd be happy to address them. All right, take care. Have an awesome weekend. Bye, Andre. Bye, Jade.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman.
Thanks, Liam. See you, buddy.
See you.
Have a good day and
Bye, Noe.
rest of your weekend.
Thanks, Noe. You too. Hi, Melina. You got any questions for me? Hi, Antonia. I went ahead and we just kind of wrapped everything up, so I let everybody go. I'm going to upload this video in Canvas in probably like 5 minutes. So check back in 5 minutes and watch it. Do you got any questions for me, though?
No.
Okay. All right. Take care. We'll see you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.